Welcome to You Asked For It, where you asked for it. You send in questions and we answer them to the best of our ability.
I don't like the way this is starting.
Today's question.
Do you feel a little nervous?
I do.
No, it's good.
All right, here we go. Go for it.
What is your favorite color? I'm interested. How are you going to... No,
Come on.
that's not it.
That ain't it.
Okay,
Good.
Here's the question. In your opinion,
That's what I'm going to give anyway.
Yeah, well, that's what this show is. What is the number one problem facing today's public school system? And go.
Well, you have kids in school.
Yeah.
The liberal agenda.
I shouldn't have let him go first. That was my answer. That's 100% it. Yeah.
What?
It's so one-sided.
Yeah.
They're teaching half history.
They're changing history.
Well, they're changing history on top of that.
They're adding oppression where it doesn't need to be added. They're teaching people to be a victim. They're teaching people to not think for themselves. And they're pushing the liberal agenda. From kindergarten through college.
Yep.
They're
being
an easy
indoctrinated.
question.
Yeah. They're being indoctrinated from the
definitely.
get-go. Yep.
Definitely being indoctrinated. I actually went on Amazon. It was in between the time of the election and the inauguration and just seeing the way things were heading, and bought probably 5 or 6 history books before they were not available anymore.
Okay.
For my girls. Like, this stuff won't be in print anymore.
Right.
And it's not going to be online. And like, I don't know where I'm going to get it.
Right.
So I need to have some resources of myself, because they're not going to teach the principles that this country is founded on. And, you know, you can talk for a minute. I got to find this. I don't know if I can find it.
Well, yeah, I don't know much about grade school or high school, whatever. I don't have kids. But a little bit what I know about most universities today, maybe not all. I haven't visited them all. I don't know. But I think generally speaking, I would agree with you guys. It is definitely a agenda that is a purposeful agenda to teach some of these things, rewrite history. I think just this liberal agenda of you're a victim. How about this one? America's bad. America's such a horrible place. Really? Is there any evidence, or is there any, facts?
Here's a tweet I was trying to find. The USA ended slavery, ended race-based civil rights violations, elected a black president twice, and made our highest paid athletes, musicians, celebrities, and cultural ambassadors black Americans. If we are a racist nation, we suck at it. Like, now, are there racists in America?
Well, of course.
Absolutely there are. Are there bad people in every single country around the world? Absolutely there are. But this idea, especially lately, of just indoctrinating younger and younger kids all the time to believe that America is inherently evil, that all white people are racist, that anybody besides white is a victim, like, it's so harmful and causes such an unnecessary divide.
Absolutely.
And it's not based on evidence or truth. It really isn't. And I think so many young people are coming out of universities, college and universities, really embracing socialism, even communism, without ever being taught what it is. They're taught the pie in the sky, make believe. Can you imagine if everybody had the same and all that without any, this is what it looks like in real life. So if you take the history, the truth about what really happens, and you just float this pie in the sky, can you imagine everybody will be nice to each other. It doesn't work. It actually doesn't work. And look around the world. Proven. Socialism doesn't work, except it does make everybody the same, poor.
There's an elite class that stays pretty good. Socialism eliminates the middle class completely, and it's sad. It's sad.
Yeah. Yep. And the other thing that we haven't brought up, but I'll address the elephant in the room. They took God out of school.
Oh yeah, a while ago.
And I think that's where everything started spiraling out of control. That was the beginning of it. Once you take what you said, truth, out, and that's out of the equation, then it just kind of spirals off.
When
into,
truth is relative, when math is racist, when we're encouraging, hey, well, you can't drink or smoke yet as an 8-year-old because you don't know the long-term effects it's going to do on your body, but you're 8 years old and you can choose your own gender. What? Like,
how about
holy moly.
science would tell us the brain isn't fully mature yet till you're like 23, enough to make these kind of decisions.
Even then, I wonder.
Yeah.
At 23.
Well, here's the point. You know what? And we could go on all day about facts and things, but the point really is there's no evidence. This is somebody's wish list of a utopian, do whatever you want. Unfortunately, there is a crash at the end of this in individuals' lives.
Yep.
And there is going to be a crash as far as a culture and a society. Look at already, we've said for years, freedom is not doing whatever you want. Freedom is living within boundaries and guidelines for civilization. That's freedom, Doing whatever you want will you end up in prison, So that's not freedom. But we got this idea that you can just do whatever you want. Unfortunately, most of it hits a brick wall. For example, this pick your gender, transgender stuff. This liberal agenda is pushing be anything you want to be anything. But now they're running into, we just hit a wall with men competing with women in sports. You see, guess what? There's principles here.
The statistics.
Yeah, there are principles here that, guess what? Let's go back up. You can't be whatever you want. We got to go back to truth. You are this or you are that. Now, I know you might have, desires or things leading one way or another. That's called discipline and growing up. That none of us, I remember my kids saying, you can't just eat ice cream for dinner every day. Okay? But I want to.
Yeah.
Well, who cares what you want? That's not good. We need to steer, right? It's not steer to just go the way you want. Man, we'd all be drug addicts if that was the case. No, there's a thing called discipline. There's a thing called this thing about living in boundaries gives us the most freest chance of life where we can actually live free, and for some reason, I don't know who started it, but they've taken that completely out of today's culture. Do whatever you want, be whatever you want.
No is a swear word.
Yeah. Nobody can put their moral values on you anymore. And this is a personal thing. I would be fine to live in a nation like that as long as you now have to suffer the consequences of your do whatever you want. Unfortunately, we're trying to do both.
People.
Yeah.
Right.
We're trying to say you can live whatever you want. You don't need any morals. But when your life hits the toilet, when your life crashes, now we have to come and feel sorry for you and say, wait a minute, I thought that's what you wanted, So this whole liberal agenda doesn't fit. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. You're going to crash. And then what are you going to do? Well, everybody else got to fix. There's an old song, back a classic rock song, man, really old, about stealing from the rich to give to the poor until there are no rich no more. Whatever it was, you might remember that. But and can't we all see that's going to go?
No, the actual words are tax the rich, feed the poor,
until
there are no rich no more. Yeah, I'd love to change the world.
I'd love to change the world. Yep. I knew you'd get it. I kept like, you're like,
but hey, jukebox.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, people. We can't see that, just principle. You and I talk about this all the time. Principles.
Yeah.
What if everyone did this all the time? Well, that wouldn't work. Well, then don't do it.
Yeah.
If that wouldn't work, then don't do it.
If it's not right in all situations, then it's not right.
Yeah. Now, is that sad sometimes? Yes.
Oh,
Is
definitely.
that hurtful sometimes? Yes, it is. But so is discipline. But that's what needs to take place to be free and healthy, And so it's a sad state of affairs.
Circling back to what you said, Jen Psaki, I'm going to throw it in there every time I can just because it makes me laugh. But so much of this agenda that has become the focus of education is in direct opposition to God's heart.
Absolutely.
To his rules, to his principles, to what he says about our life, to how he created human beings and the world, and all that sort of thing, to his heart. It is the polar opposite of what God says.
Yep.
And that's the problem.
Piggyback off of that. That is so true. As a matter of fact, I want to speak directly to, if you are a Christian and you embrace the liberal agenda, I want to challenge you to be honest with yourself and realize that Satan himself is behind the liberal agenda, because what Shaheen just said is so true. Every aspect, and I mean every aspect of the liberal agenda, is the opposite of what God says for our life. Every bit of it is the opposite of God. And if you as a Christian
can be
can't
cloaked
see
in things that look nice.
It looks nice. It looks
but if you
very
get
nice.
down to it,
The core value of it is in opposition of God. Opposition. You know, it's and when there are Christian people, and maybe some of you are listening to this, and you are a Christian, but you really embrace the liberal agenda, I just want to challenge you, really do, that being deceived can be easy. Because here's what I believe it does, and you guys, we talk about this a lot, that it really caters to our emotions. The liberal agenda caters to our soft heart. But we only teach sometimes, we only encourage sometimes the soft side of God in church. That's why more women go to church than men do, because they're halfway more spiritual just by their gender, you know. It seems we don't embrace or talk enough about God's righteousness, His law, His stop this, stop that. There's a payday someday. This, you know, and this it all comes down to this. And if you understand this principle, you'll understand everything about culture. And that is this: I love my children, soft emotions. I love my children too much to discipline them. See, that is not love.
No.
That feels
that's
like
a contradiction.
love. That
in
is a
terms.
deception. It feels like love. It hurts me. That's the most selfish thing you can do. Because how it makes me feel, I don't care about their future.
Yep.
You know, you got to get over your own feelings to do what's right. And you know what? Many times it's painful to do the right thing. And our culture has become so soft that we just don't want anybody to feel pain. Anybody, guess what? When we avoid pain from everybody, they're going to end up being in an absolute disaster.
Some of the best growth comes as a result of pain.
Oh, usually.
Usually.
Some of the best lessons learned, best theories for your life, things you'll always remember it.
Yeah.
You know, especially if you learn it young.
Yeah.
100%.
It's so sad. It makes me cry. It does. My grandkids growing up in this culture that makes it, there's no logic to it. It's all emotion.
Right.
I don't want anyone to feel any pain. I'm making fun of it right now, but that's where it is. That's this. Let's all have flowers and tulips in our yard.
It really is, though, at the heart. It's a deception from the enemy.
It is. It is anti-God.
It's a spiritual issue.
It is.
More than anything else.
Yep.
Right. And there is a difference between, you said before, discipline. There's a difference between disciplining your kids and beating your kids. There's
for sure.
There's an absolute difference. It's the heart behind it. It's
I would
and
say,
it's
yeah.
also
Why is greater than what?
Yeah, that. But it's also, you know, are you doing it out of anger? You know, that then you should probably check your heart.
Very frustrating to me to watch, even around this church. I'm not going to name names, but to watch parents and children today is so frustrating, because for some reason parents feel like their children are as mature as they are, so it's almost like they treat them an adult to adult relationship. You know, hey, listen, your kids aren't adults. You don't have conversations with them to explain everything. You have to teach them to submit to authority.
Them and shape them and cut off the parts that are bad.
You know, and if you say why you can't have ice cream for every dinner all the time, and they don't understand why you need to sometimes say this. Because I said so. Guess what? I'm the mature one. Yep. You're a child. You do what I say.
I use that all the time with my girls. Because I'm the dad.
Right.
Because I know what's best, because I set the rules.
You are subliminally teaching them way bigger than I'm the dad. You're teaching them a principle of authority. that wherever you are, if it's in the home, it's your parents. If you're at the job, it's your boss. If you're on the street, it's a cop. You know, you submit to authority.
Mm-hmm. And your life will go better.
It will go better.
All right.
Well, there we go.
I think that's it. All right.
That wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
No. I just thought it'd be interesting. Yeah.
It was a good question.
It was a good one. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you have any more questions, you can email us at contact@accesschurch. You can also comment down in this video here if you have more questions that you want to hear us answer.
Ask us personally.
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can come up to us and ask us. That'd be great. Yeah. But thanks for tuning in.